advantage from the fighter from Libya.
It's always something to take into consideration as well, the height of your opponent. It determines what distance you're going to go from.
And do you prefer fighters of the same height, or do you prefer fighting people who are shorter than you? Oh, hey, my word, what an opener that was. Came from nowhere, didn't it?
Great way to start the fight, isn't it?
And there was me just waiting for that 30 seconds or so of testing. No. Bouts having none of that. He wants the 3 points and he's taken it straight away. What an opener.
We talked about it. Sometimes it's more difficult to find out what kind of fighter your opponent is, but sometimes you're just able to get it straight away. And he clearly...
And that's the first time we've seen someone come straight off the line to score. Abdul coach looking for a video review. There's the kick. Now, did it bounce off the shoulder? Did it meet its target first hand? There. What do you think, Hannah?
I think that got him.
Certainly got him by surprise. Came from down, he's put his leg down and then just comes straight back up again. Great call from the coach. Yeah. Certainly levels the scoring. Difference is the Senchu advantage. Bouts just has that narrow lead. We've still got 2/3 of the bout to go. So look for the kicks, that's the message. They both
seem very keen on their legs, don't they?
Wow. Oh, this time Abdul goes for a kick to the body. There's the score from Bouts. Punch came in. Video review for red. Looking at a kick to the body at the same time as the punch came in. Steps to the left, kicks to the body.
Wow.
Good for you?
Good for me. I think it was fabulous timing. No.
What was the video review thinking it was second to the punch?
Possibly. That's definitely something to take into consideration.
It certainly looked like most of the other criteria were there. Four points to 3. Bouts of Libya still leads. Video review request from the coach of Libya. That's more Abdul going for the kick to the body. That was the shin that time. So neither of the coaches have the video review card left. This time, the score is being given for the body kick.
This is a very tight fight, isn't it?
It is indeed. And it's Abdul who now has his neck in front, so to speak. Abdul needs at least 1 point to bring that Senchu back into play. Abdul going off the mat. So Chewy warning, another yellow card. How do you determine where you want to position yourself on the mat? Ideally in the middle, I guess.
Ideally, you don't want to be super close to the end. You want to give yourself, just like he's doing now, that little bit of room to move, to go wherever you need.
And you train in the corner? You train with your partners to force you into those positions?
Yes, I personally, I love the corner. I love that you can move. I prefer it. I feel more comfortable there.
Right.
But it's definitely worth being able to put that pressure on to make your way back into the middle and reset.
There was a reset from Bouts. Takes another point. Now he brought that Senchu into play.
This is a very active, very talented fight. You can see that the scores are just going up on both sides.
Now, although there was a 2-point score from Abdelgawed, the Senchu takes the first priority. So in these circumstances, as the referee is counting, I can't tell you off screen, the referee is counting to 10 to see if the athlete can get up in time, because if they can't get up within 10 seconds, regardless of the circumstances, they wouldn't be able to continue. But there was a clash between both competitors, and if there are injury caused by accident, that can still be penalised. We'll just have to wait and determine the outcome of this. In the meantime, when you're in a situation like this, either you've been injured or your opponent's been injured, how do you cope with that? I mean, obviously if it's you, you've got to get better, that's the thing.
As you're the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, so just an opportunity to look at some of these techniques of the bout. There's that kick that went into the head from Abdelgawed. But sorry, Hannah, you were saying?
As you're the person that's sitting there waiting, although you don't like to see your opponent injured, you don't like to see you hurting someone, that takes priority off of the mat. At this moment in time while you're waiting, you need to get your mindset back into the game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's no moment to feel bad about what you've done. It's ultimately it's about winning and being able to perform your best. And then when you get off the mat, you can say sorry, you can all of the above. But at this moment, he's trying to reset, maybe possibly catch his breath, come back with some tactics. What's he going to do for the next 40 seconds? Because again, there's a lot of time left in the game.
Yeah, of course there is. Yes. The referees can give athletes 3 minutes to recover, or a little more if it's deemed necessary, before they have to come back and make a decision. And just a chance to have a look at some of the crowd from the Karate1Paris. Pierre de Coubertin.
Still that form of respect there for your opponent.
Yes.
But then it's back in the game.
Absolutely.
So you always carry respect for who you're fighting.
Good, and it's great that the athletes are both able to get back onto the mat. Now the referee's just checking with the Kansar, the fourth official or the extra official, to consider the timing, whether there was the count to 10 and he can't continue, or whether the technique, whether there was a discussion with the doctor. If the doctor says he can't continue, regardless, he can't continue. On the other hand, if the doctor says yes, he can continue, then the referee will decide whether he can or can't. So there's quite a few things that need to be checked to make sure everything is right. But the most important, of course, is the health of the athlete. And let's see what the referee decides to do here. He's giving a contact violation and a chewy warning. And back into the action, 40 seconds still to go. Abdelgawed in red needs one more point to overcome the Senchu advantage held, or to force an error in the last 15 seconds. Goes for a high kick, but Bouts he's keeping really close. He's playing quite a cagey game here, isn't he, Hannah?
Yes, yes. Well, he's had that moment to think, to come up with more tactics. He's had that time.
Goes for a kick to the body. Abdelgawed tries a roundhouse kick, comes off with a punch. putting a lot of pressure on his opponent here.
Not letting him off, is he?
There's a round kick to the back. He's throwing everything, and that round kick to the back. 2-point score, and you can see the coach unhappy with his fighter from Libya, who's being told by the referee to keep still and to compose himself. There's the kick went up from the Libyan, and the kick round the back. So a referee just looking at the athlete who's taken a knock in the face, but the scoreboard recorded the 2 points for Abdul Gawad. He's got another Wasari score. So he has 7 points to 5, so he most certainly is in the driving seat with just 5 seconds left to go. Libyan coach is muttering away to himself there. he's not happy with his fighter who's
That's what
fallen behind
happens when
by
you have so much passion for the sport. You know, you
Yeah,
feel
of course.
not only the happiness but the heartbreak and sometimes the anger.
Well, that was a close kick there from Blue as the clock ticks down to 0, and that was a really impressive fight from Abdul Gawad. He knew the century had to be taken into consideration
He
and
knew what he
managed
had
to do
to
that.
do. Sometimes you also have the information to know what you have to do, but then you have to do it.
Exactly.
And he was able to pull that off very well.
There's a close-up shot of the Egyptian coach there, who's done an incredible job with the national team. And in the World Cup last year, Egypt became world champions.
Absolutely.
In the men's category, they were sensational. And they have such talent, depth of talent. Fabulous win.
That's teamwork and support right there.
So
Love
that's
and
a
respect for each other.
very well-earned bronze medal for Abdallah Hasham Abdul Gawad of Egypt.
Abdel Gawad, congratulations once again.
Wow, raw passion.
That's what we love to see, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
With the crowd standing up, getting amongst it.
We are ready for another bout. Male Kumite minus 75 kilograms. Bronze medal match number 2. Male Kumite under 75 kilograms. Bronze medal match number 2.
Waiting in the wings from Ukraine, Eric Rozenko. Bronze medalist as a cadet. Very much a young up-and-coming fighter, 20 years of age. He was third in the A Series in Athens in 2024. The third in a youth league. Hasn't won a Karate1 Premier League. Roy Pitzel of Ukraine, even younger, 19 years old, as we were saying, Anna.
Up and coming.
Up and coming. And it's the K1 series, really, that is proving this, with the Youth League going into the A Series, coming into the Premier League, and then into the Continental and World Championships.
The consistency of what the under-21s are able to do as well, go from competition to competition.
Eric Rozenko looking pretty calm as he makes his way to the tatami. Rui Pitzel. He was first in Tbilisi in the Continental Championships last year. Hasn't won Karate1 Premier League medals, but has been an under-21 world bronze medal. Referee for the bout, Jan Kristoffersen from Denmark.
Ukraine proving to be a very strong country, having two people from the same place in a medal bout.
Yes, indeed. It's always a challenge, I guess, isn't it? For if you've got a teammate who's on the mat with you, it's such an important place as a Premier League bronze medal encounter. No love lost, is there? You're just going to fight, you want to win.
No,
Is that right?
You're both there for the same reason. You
Yeah.
both have the same aspirations, dreams. This is just a 3-minute fight where for 3 minutes you're not each other's friend.
Adversaries.
But yes. But then it's to have that respect to walk off the mat after and still be on the same team.
Yes, and Arozenko has opened the score with a 3-point. That was pretty impressive technique. You get the senchu as well. Pitzel really forcing his way forward, trying to get himself back into contention. He knows that 3 points to overcome is one thing. He has the senchu also against it, so it's a massive lead, really.
It
that
is.
Arozenko has now achieved himself, isn't it?
But we can see he has that active pressure.
Oh, that came round there.
There it is.
From nowhere, didn't it? So if there's one way of turning the table, that's the way to do it.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
So he's now closed that gap right down to the senchu advantage. And that was a very difficult technique, was it? A spinning Yushiro Uramawashi, a spinning roundhouse kick to the back of the head.
One of the hardest techniques, you could say. Very effective when used right.
Fast punch there from Pitzel. Closing in once again on the slight advantage from Arozenko. Still only halfway through, and there's another front hand punch from Pitzel and a kick to the body.
And they both just keep fighting, they keep going, because when you put that active pressure on your opponent and keep going, it forces mistakes, errors. Maybe they drop their guard for a second. Maybe they lose distance. And you can use that to your advantage.
Another point there from Arozenko. Pitzel threw in that punch to the body, but then he turned his body away, looking at to say, "Oh, I've scored a point." And then, of course, he doesn't have that awareness, that concentration, and that awareness was lost, and that's why Arozenko was able to score. Making sure that you keep that zanshin is important, isn't it, Hannah?
It is important. Sometimes you can almost get carried away with it because you're trying to sell your points, aren't you? You're trying to show the refs that you're determined this scored, this was in. And sometimes we can get a little carried away with it, and then it's that slight loss of concentration.
High kick there from Pitzel again. He's trailing 7 points to 4 now. The century against him. And time running away. 47 seconds on the clock.
He's handling the pressure extremely well and finding those perfect timings and perfect opportunities to score. Amazing movement. Getting himself
Kept in control.
Notice how he went into the corner and then had that amazing movement to get back out and give himself more time.
Yes.
And now he has more room.
.22 seconds remaining. Rahosenko receives a warning, chewy warning for stepping off the tatami. And there was a kick from Pitzel, and it took a knock.
It just shows how strong and powerful he is as an athlete. And that these things hurt, you know, we're kicking and punching each other.
Well, it's a combat sport, there's no question about it. It is a contact sport. Contact has to be controlled, of course, and if it isn't, it gets a warning, and this one did. Bothering too much those.
But showing us that he's very able and capable to deal with situations like this.
It's another 2-point score from Rahosenko. 9 points to 4. Big score from Rahosenko. And again, he turns cleverly out of that corner, but wow, that was close, wasn't it? Pitzel did take him to the mat, but he took him down with 2 hands, and he's going to be penalised for holding on with 2 hands. Don't know how it won. He's pulling these body kicks off so well, isn't he?
He's able to control the fight and control his distance, his timing extremely well.
This is the highest score we've seen in the tournament so far, 11 points to 4.
Very smart fight.
The Hansoku Chui, watch the Senchu being taken away now.
Almost doesn't matter though, does it?
Hardly does it. 2 seconds left on the clock. There's a score from Pitzel. Now, Rahosenko.
I love that he never gave up.
No, he kept with it, didn't he? Because he could have forced another error. That would have been Hansoku. That would have been disaster for Rahosenko. But there was another point to be had. So it's 6. High score, 11 points to 6.
He really showcased his skills and abilities.
Mr. Casual, isn't he? Just a little bit of a body swerve there. What a prospect, though. Just 20 years of age. Well, both of them. 19 and 20.
Rahosenko, Ukraine. Congratulations.
How special to be that young and that skilled and talented.
I'd do anything I could just to be that young. It'd be wonderful. That would be great. His opportunity to have a look at that. There's the kick. Came right over the top of the shoulder. Kick to the body.
Oh my goodness.
And that was that spin and turning kick. Doesn't have to make contact. Has to be within 5 centimeters.
Well, it's hard to keep that distance control. It's what we train for.
You can, you know, if you're not careful, you can end up with what is a fabulous technique into causing injury and no point at all.
Control is very hard to maintain as well.
Yes, it is.
It's a skill that you have to train for.
Male Kumite, minus 75 kilograms.
Staying with minus 75 kilogram. This is the gold medal bout between Montenegro and Egypt. This is some champion. Grand winner, Abdallah Abdelaziz. My goodness me. Absolutely amazing fighter. 7 Karate1 Premier Leagues he's had. And an Olympian. He's a World Games gold medalist. He's the grand winner. He was first in all 4 Premier Leagues last season, Abdallah Abdelaziz. Oh, by the way, he's world champion.
Can't skip out on that.
Back to back. What a fighter.
That'll be why he's wearing the gold gi.
He certainly would be. Nemanja Mikulic, 21 years of age, continental bronze medalist. What a great introduction there from the ring speaker, Hossein Redondo. Abdallah Abdelaziz. Pinagul Gulbers from Turkey, the referee for the bout. Now the young Mikulic, 21 years of age. Twice he's been bronze medalist at under 21 continental level, but he hasn't won at World or at Premier League. He's got such a tough match here on paper because every day is a new day.
Well, everything can happen on the tatami, you know, something completely unexpected could happen.
Well, he has
Because,
a
yes, on
height advantage.
Yes.
So that's an advantage he's got to start with. But it's going to be difficult. 3-minute bout. Front hand punch there straight away from Abdelaziz. Mikulic just came into that range, didn't he? And the world champion just sitting quite comfortably, knowing that his opponent's got to come for him.
He does seem very comfortable there, doesn't he?
Another day at the office for him. Or perhaps not. That front hand from Mikulic came right over the top, using that range.
He was able to do that quite comfortably, wasn't he, with his height and his reach. He's definitely found it.
You can see Abdallah Abdelaziz. Oh, hang on, I better not take this too easily for this opponent. Need to keep on in work mode.
Yes. Still that unsettling that we saw before, keeping him on his toes.
The Sukate calls the referee, gives them a chance to move. If they don't, there'll be a warning. Mikulic, and they gain that front hand. Fast from Abdelaziz. He's asked for a video review. The judges didn't go for it. Front hand punch, the Gazamazuki, as it's referred to in Japanese, the language of karate. There's the punch. I love the way he's followed his body in afterwards, and that stifles any counter that can come from Mikulic.
With such a long reach as well. With his opponent's height range, you would expect.
Yeah.
him to maybe need to dig in a little bit deeper.
And he got the score from the video review.
Such an experienced fighter. He definitely knows what he's doing out on the ring.
And once more a video review requested. Attack from Mikulic, double punch. And there's a kick to the body from Abdelaziz. And the question is, did he have all the 6 criteria required for the point?
Definitely did.
Certainly did, you're right. And that's a 2 points score. Now Abdelaziz, world champion and grand winner, is sitting comfortable. 4 points to 1 he has, and he still has the century advantage.
He was able to close that distance very well.
Good counter punch this time from Mikulic. And there was a punch also from Abdelaziz, so both will get a score. Both punches going in at the same time. Into the last minute of the bout. Mikulic now will have to up the game to get any chance of taking this gold medal away from Abdelaziz, who steps off the tatami. He can afford to. He hasn't got any warnings against him. That's his first Chewy. What advice would you give to Mikulic? More of that?
Definitely more of that.
Definitely more of that. Indeed. He's only 2 points adrift now. He has the century advantage against him. Abdelaziz once more steps up. He changes his tactic, doesn't he?
Well, absolutely. He seems to be very, very patient, but maybe with 40 seconds left and he needs a few points, he might need to start adding that pressure on that we saw.
Into the last 30 seconds. Now, Mikulic.
Definitely adding the pressure on now.
He's got no choice now, really, has he? He's 4 points adrift. Abdelaziz will get another yellow warning, another Chewy, but still has the Senchu. And closes in once more, closes that, stifles that attack from Mikulic, and once more he's using the rules very cleverly, isn't he? Very cleverly.
When you feel yourself in that tight or sticky situation and you just don't want to be in that scenario, it is definitely to your advantage to just take a warning.
Now he flew off the line there with a front hand punch. Abdelaziz will get another point. 8 points to 3. He leads with just 15 seconds to go.
Really just showing his dominance as the world champion, isn't he?
Totally in control. Mikulic trying to hooking kick round the back. Was that in? Well, the judges didn't go for it, but the coach felt it was, asked for a video review, as did the coach from Abdelaziz. This is a crucial call from the coach. If he can get a 3-point score here, you see the kick come right round the back. Now, did it hook back onto the head, or was it? It kind of faded, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because Abdelaziz turned his body down. He dropped his body down as that kick was coming round.
Yeah, dropped his head down, which means that the kick sort of went off the back.
Yes, so it was ineffective.
Yes.
And neither of the techniques from either side scored into the last 5 seconds. Mikulic now trying to put as much pressure as he can on, but it's too little too late. As Abdelaziz just ducks his way and steps off the mat. Big win in the end, wasn't it?
Big win. Showed his dominance, his ring craft, his knowledge of the rules.
What a champion. What a champion.
What a champion.
And what a smile from the coach. He has a right to be happy, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Montenegro. Congratulations to both of you. One more gold medal for the current Premier League Grand winner of this category. Male Kumite -75
Of the session so far, from your point of view, do you have any standout moments?
Oh, that spinning hook kick.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Definitely all these athletes, spectacular to watch. Just, they're world level. And
Oh,
that's
definitely
what you
world
expect
class.
to see at a Premier League. I've definitely enjoyed it.
It's been plenty of action, hasn't it?
Quite a lot of action. I loved seeing all the different techniques, all the different feelings and emotions that come off of it. When you watch them at the beginning to when you watch them at the end, how much it all changed. As you said, sometimes not much can happen in a fight. And from an outside perspective, people wonder why. But you can see there's so much thought and so much everything that's put into it, you know? And some of the other fights, they were straight onto it from the very beginning because they feed it out very quickly. I loved watching all the differences between every single fighter. Absolutely amazing to watch, and I very much enjoyed it.
Very much.